What's up everyone, welcome back to ARTV. My name is John and it's time for a review of the new album Whatever USA by rapper, singer, artist extraordinaire, Hoodie Allen. Now, has it really been 7 years since I started listening to Hoodie's music through the All-American project? Apparently it has been. The time flies right out the window. And here on Whatever USA, I'm happy to see that Hoodie seems to be taking a lot of elements of the things that he's learned along the way. A lot of producers, collaborations came about very organically. I spoke to Hoodie about this record because, full disclosure, we've known each other for quite some time, and he reached out about me covering this project, and I was more than willing to take a look at it, especially after I heard the lead single and the follow-up track I heard Come Around, in addition to Never Going Back, and I found them to both be very solid. I think this time around, he's found a great blend of his older stuff like Crew Cuts and All-American, but also an updated reflection on where he's at now at this point in his life. The production is super sleek. I love the catchiness. There's so many hooks on this album, and honestly, it flows really well. It comes in at just under 30 minutes long, and it's one of those records that you can just continuously loop. Hoodie has improved so much as a vocalist, and I say that not just as like an MC spitting rhymes, because he's definitely got some bars on this record that impressed me and I felt were either fast-paced and actually pulled off something a little bit more old school, but also the main compliment that I have for him here is the fact that his singing voice has gotten a lot better. It's improved drastically over the years, and some of these cuts like You Should Let Me Know really flex that talent. They put it in the spotlight. He worked on that track with the lead singer Nick of the band The Rex, who are immensely underrated, and it's sad, but at this point I feel Hoodie is even more slept on than he was when he was rising into fame, and he never quite hit that position that I wanted him to get to, and now I just hope that people will give this project a chance because there's really some gems on here. As I mentioned, the production is really clean, very sleek. They bring out great things in the mix, and you can tell that there was a lot of tweaking, a lot of work done to make everything flow quite well together. There's guitars, there's organic drums and instruments used, but also some rattling beats here and there that definitely work on tracks like 60 Seconds, and even though it's not always coming out flawless, I do appreciate that attention to detail. Since Never Going Back was the lead single, I suppose I'll start by talking about that one. I love the sample on this track. The manipulation just reminds me of some of his older stuff like You Are Not a Robot and many of the mixtape songs that did a great job at cutting up the samples and then looping them into something cool for either a hook or something to open up the song. And on Never Going Back, we kind of see Hoodie reflecting on the fact that yes, he's certainly never going back to his old jobs of telemarketing or anything like that. But with Hoodie, you know there's going to be some pop culture punches thrown at you lyrically, and he's smart with his quips that he throws out there. I know that this is pop rap. It's not going to be for everyone, but honestly, as somebody who doesn't listen to a ton of hip hop, pop rap is definitely more of my forte, more of something that I am into. And on some of these tracks, instead of just going on full-on pop, it's more so embracing a little bit of both worlds. In addition to the keys that pop up not only on this track, I'm loving the chiming pianos that really break down some of the best tracks on the album, like I Don't Know Why. There's a vocal bounce that plays off on the verses and then the chorus on that one. I love the way that they segue and just transition perfectly from verse to chorus. The chorus is one of the best on the entire record, and the whole track just feels playful, and that's something that I wasn't sure if he'd be able to execute on a fair amount of songs on the album, but honestly, the playfulness and the skill that was definitely apparent on some of his early tracks is flaring up once again here. Hometown Kid feels like a track that could have appeared on All-American, although it's definitely updated in terms of production, maybe a little bit shinier, but that's definitely not a complaint. I love the feeling of that one. It's just kind of like a pump-up anthem, and also on the track You Should Let Me Know. I know I praised it a little bit already, but the vocals are seriously gripping on that track. I think that they're emotionally resonant, but also the overall musical vibe of this, the guitar solo at the end, That caught me off guard, and I'm definitely not complaining. Hell of a Time saw Hoodie teaming up with a previous producer he had worked with on the track Surprise Party from his Happy Camper album, and I wasn't a huge fan of that track, but this one is again light on its feet. It's swift, it has these circling guitars that just feel like you're on a road trip or something, and the album does a good job at kind of keeping on theme like a road trip through life to whatever USA. It entails that even further and gives us a vision of what we're seeing on the title track, which opens up the album Whatever USA, and I love the little radio dial thing at the end. I know it's been done before, but it was just a nice little twist that I didn't necessarily see coming, and I'm like, oh, it gives the album a theme and it doesn't feel forced. I kind of shrug my shoulders at 60 Seconds featuring Gianni and Kyle. I don't think it's that solid of a track overall. In fact, it's a little bit more forgettable, especially the guest verse there. It's fine, but it also doesn't really fit in with the rest of the album all that much. So I'm not gonna slam it down as like being an awful track, but it does kind of stick out because there's only 9 songs, and the other 8 I feel go pretty well together. Yeah, guys, if you couldn't tell already, I enjoyed the Hoodie Allen album. I feel that it's a step up from his most recent projects that he's put out, and it definitely combines and intertwines older elements that some fans are going to go wild for. If you're into his rapping, that's cool, but if you're into his singing, I think there's something for you here too. He combines the two worlds without feeling like he's doing a retread, and I definitely have respect for that. So overall, I'm rating Whatever USA a 4 out of 5. Go check out this album. There's a link to stream it in the description down below. I appreciate Hoodie as always. We've known each other for quite some time, and of course I don't let that influence my overall decision on the album, but he did get it to me early, and I just wanted to disclose that. Anyways, there's a couple of recent reviews right here, including another Hoodie Allen review, and I'll see you soon for more right here on ARTV.